Hello everybody and welcome back to Rain World Archaeologist Edition. In the last episode, we got out of the Five Pebbles area. We got the light green pearl from the wall exterior. We got the golden pearl from Chimney Canopy. We got them to the little den right inside a shaded citadel where we dropped off the other pearls. And right now, we're going to use the first of our passages to get back to the Looks of the Moon. I'm very excited, if you can't tell. Yeah. Because you know what this means. It's time to read some lore pearls. Oh, these passages are so cool and so pretty. Alright, let's see if I remember how to navigate this. So, I have one more thing I wanted to talk about in regards to things I had thought of last time. So, I'm going to just warp to this one, because this is where I haven't dropped off pearls yet. Just in case it does something with the ones I have in there, I just want to be safe about it. Anyway. How do I select this? There we go. Okay, make sure that works, because I don't know if I trust it. Is it going to be good? Hey! Passage? I was supposed to get my war pearls! Uh-oh. Well, okay. That was funky. It's fine. They're just in Shaded Citadel. I can carry them back I can carry them all manually. It's whatever. It's annoying. Because that should have worked. By all accounts, that should have worked. But whatever. Whatever. As I said. Take the stuff we got. We'll get those off screen. It's all chill. I should eat something. Num 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 num. Anyway, the one other thing that I wanted to talk about from my notes from last time that I didn't quite get to because of all the craziness going on. Something that I find very cool about Looks to the Moon versus Five Pebbles is their movements. Now, obviously, Looks to the Moon is kind of restricted in what they can do because of the whole, like, not really functioning thing. And sort of what's involved in that with... Obviously, the I don't know the technical terms, but the stuff that their robot body's connected to can't really move in the way it's, seemingly supposed to based on what Five Pebbles does. But just, like, the movements of their robot bodies, like, Look to the Moon is very much in their body with the way they move, if that makes any... Like, they curl up when they're sleeping, they kind of, like, move around. They act like their body is a thing they're inhabiting, and, like, that's their body. Versus a lot of, like, when you see Five Pebbles, he definitely has a lot more of that vibe of being, like, a funny little puppet. Okay, let's see what colors I can get my hands on. What is this? This is a blank one? Nope. Purple? Have I gotten this purple? Yes, I've gotten the purple one before, so let's start with that. Now, hold on. Can I get the gold one? I'd like to get my hands on the gold pearl. Oh, fuck. No, this is the red one. Whatever. Taking these pearls. We're going to see Looks to the Moon. But yeah, Five Pebbles, when his robot body moves around, is a lot more... like it's being puppeted. Which is, I think, is kind of a thing of like, oh yeah, that's because he's still got his full facilities, and it kind of emphasizes the whole, yeah, this is like a thing that they have, their robot body. Oh. Hello, little friend. What are you? If I had my memories, I would know. Perhaps I saw you before? You must be very brave to have made it all the way here, but I'm sorry to say your journey here is in vain. As you can see, I have nothing for you, not even my memories. Or did I say that already? I see that someone has given you the gift of communication. Must have been 5 pebbles, as you don't look like you can travel very far. He's sick, you know, being corrupted from the inside by his own experiments. Maybe they all are by now, who knows? We weren't designed to transcend, and it drives us mad. It is good to have someone to talk to after all this time. The scavengers aren't exactly good listeners. They do bring me things, though, occasionally. But yeah, if you look at them, like, they're all curled up with their knees bunched up. Hello? Have... What is that? Ah, you'd like me to read this? It's a bit dusty, but I'll do my best. Hold on. Oh, this one is interesting. You must have found it in the memory crypts. It has some plain text. I can read it out to you. In this vessel is the living memories of 17 axes, 15 spoked wheel, of the House of Braids, Count of 8 living blocks, Counselor of 18, Grand Master of the 12th Pillar of Community, High Commander of Opinion Group Winged Opinions, of pure braid heritage, voted local champion in the speaking tournament of 1511-90, mother, father, and spouse, spiritual... Okay, I can't read this whole thing. Assorted memories and qualia include watching dust suspended in a ray of sun, old age, eating a very tasty meal, young child, defeating an opponent in a debate contest, and being applauded by fellow team members, late childhood, early adulthood. And the list goes on. I'm sorry, little creature, I won't read all of this. The list is 620 items long. Yeah, it's a good one to start off with, because it's not... How much time do I have? So yeah. Okay, so let's... I am grateful. The relief is indescribable. I could read a bit of 5 Pebbles in this neuron before formatting it. His condition has severely deteriorated since last I heard of him. The frustration he feels is profound, and that angst has seeped into every part of him, every neuron. We were supposed to help everyone, you know. Everything. That was our purpose. A great gift to the lesser beings of the world. When facing our inability to do so, we all reacted differently. Many with madness. Some out there might still be trying. Communications have been bad for a long time, and by now I suspect most of us are isolated like me, or connected only in small groups. But even back when we were all more or less connected, there were those who reacted to their task with anger. I can only imagine they are angrier now, alone in their cans, left only with their insatiable drive. But to be honest, I don't know how many of us are still alive at this point. That's messed up. You can have that, Pearl. Yeah, robot bodies. Five Pebbles acts much more like what they seem to... The implications seem to be that they are, which is, you know... big machine things that just happen to have the robot thing is sort of like a little puppet consciousness interface thing. Whereas Looks to the Moon, because that's all they have left, they're much more in that body. Not that 5 Pebbles... It's not like 5 Pebbles' robot body is completely all by itself. Like, it's not like it's completely just, oh, a puppet thing. Because he does wave his arms a lot when he talks. But there's definitely a difference in there that I feel. Oops! Sorry! Oh, you just... Okay, I take it back. So I had an issue that made me had to pause the game and kind of restart. So we're gonna read this Purple Pearl again. It's a new cycle, so obviously you gotta see what looks new has to say first. Oh, hello. I wonder what it is that you want. There's nothing here. Not even my memories remain. Even the scavengers that come here from time to time leave with nothing, but I've told you that already, haven't I? I do enjoy the company, though. You're welcome to stay a while, quiet little thing. I thought I gave you... Do I have to give you a certain number of neurons before your memory comes back, starts really coming back? Hi. It's for you. Eh. This one I've already read to you, little friend. Yeah, I know. I had an issue. It's about the local aquifer. It must be quite old, from when 5 Pebbles was in the planning phase. Water is the most important resource for our basic function. Most of our processing is outsourced to microbe strata, which need a flow of clean water or else slag builds up, our processes seize, and eventually we die. It is very painful. They used to say that an iterator drinks of water, but neither of us two have seen a natural river, so I suppose the analogy is lost on us, little friend. Originally, water supply was very important when placing iterators. Later, there would be a great equalizer. The fact that we breathe out as much vapor as we inhale water led to there being water available everywhere, and the latest few generations could be placed almost completely freely. Building Pebbles so close to me was believed to be a risky choice, but the groundwater was finally deemed as sufficient. It was not a good decision, in hindsight. Yeah. So... I do technically have one more colored lore quill here, but with what I have so far, since I've had a little bit of time to think, I'm going to slap this bad boy back in the den, just in case I need it again, want it again for something. Unlikely, but you know. I don't have anything in here, do I? Nope. Nothing to yarf. And I'm gonna head, because first, I still don't know, I did not really look into it, but I still don't know why it didn't work for me trying to do the warp. But I'm just gonna go manually grab some. I love tossing things the wrong direction. I'm going to manually grab another one of the pearls, and I'm going to talk about the lore stuff that I have on hand on the way for efficiency's sake. Just the couple little reactions that I have so far from those. Now we can look at some more, talk some more. Because I've got... And then I'll just cut out the rest of my journey once I'm done talking. But yeah. Things I have thoughts on. First of all, I still, like... I know it seems to be, at least from some of the other things, kind of a thing that they say... Yeah, I got time. Shortened versions of the iterator names. But I still love the fact that... It still gets me a lot that... Let me go. That looks to the moon, calls him just Pebbles. It's like, yeah, that's a funny little nickname. But first of all, the pearl from Shaded Citadel, I was kind of thought it was like, okay, it's just some funny little fluff stuff. First of all, it's a good comparison. It does technically have a comparison of dates. Where oh, come on. Okay, we got past it. What was I saying? Oh yeah. First of all, it's got dates in it, so it looks like it's a 4-digit, 3-digit thing. And at least based on the 2 dates that give it in there, I would think that the first 4 digits is year equivalent, and the other 3 are more like day, month, whatever type equivalent. So I can look at that later. I'll look at that later in more depth once I get to all of the lore pearls and see whatever dates. Not a huge, doesn't really mean a lot, but still kind of neat. And then the fact there's one more thing in the wording of that specific pearl that I hadn't really thought of before. Which is the phrasing of the fact of the person, the, ancient, I assume, that they're talking about. They use the phrasing chose to ascend. Which I assume has to do with, like, being outside of the cycle of everything. That's kind of like what the iterators are supposed to solve, I would assume, because it's like, oh, I'm ascending out of the cycle. Don't touch me, lizard. Stay over there. So that's like, okay. Is there the implication that they used to be able to do that, but then it stopped working for some reason, and that's why they created the iterators? Or, I mean, Looks to the Moon also says that, like, the iterators were created as, like, a gift to the lesser beings of the world to, like, try and solve their problems, it seems like. So maybe the ancients still could ascend? I don't know, it's still kind of confusing. It's still kind of a confusing part of the lore for me, but, like, I did notice that in combination as a thing. I mean, Five Pebbles says that it is a problem for everyone in terms of, like, wanting a way out. But I mean, the comparison was like, oh yeah, you little creatures, and then, like, comparing, like, the scale was like, oh yeah, these tiny life forms, and then, to himself. And, like, the iterators specifically weren't designed to transcend, so that isn't necessarily inclusive of the ancients, so I don't know. Could be a thing. Might not be a thing. Unclear. And also, I think something that I mentioned when I was initially doing reactions to some of these lore pearls was, like, the fact that it's like, oh yeah, I donated stuff to the local iterator project, which is Unparalleled Innocence, who's not either Five Pebbles or Looks to the Moon, and I was sitting there like, but Memory Crypt is, like, in the middle of them. And it was kind of assumed that they're not close to each other, that it seemed to be implied from the other lore pearl we read, the purple one, that they were the closest to each other. I mean, first of all, oh yeah, also I got Scholar when I saved from that, so fun. More warping. But so I was just kind of confused at first. First of all, depending on when that they were built, it's entirely possible that they were built during the later phases of, yeah, we can just place iterators willy-nilly, and it doesn't really matter. But it's also possible that the pearl was just there because, oh, we're purposely storing this person's memory crypts, duh. So the local iterator project is not necessarily local to where the stuff is stored, but local to where that ancient was. So they could have been anywhere. And I mean, I feel like that one's much more likely, considering the fact that I think if there was another iterator that ridiculously close, we might have seen them already. I don't know, they might just not have designed that in-game, and whatever. I don't know. Again, another thing where it's like I don't really have a good definitive answer, but I've thought about it a little bit. Does that count for something? Should. So yeah. Hi, scavenger. I've got to be so weird looking to you guys, to the scavengers now, because it's just like, what's that weird looking, not, you know, smoother, softer little version of the of us that, can glow? Weird. Where am I going? What else do I have? But yeah, that's kind of most of what I have for that pearl, and also like Luxton's initial thing that they say. I guess I might have to see if... I mean, I am not interested in trying to do more... going back for more neurons in this run. Because yikes, but I don't know. I'll see if it's you have to give them so many. Because I definitely gave them one. We all saw that, and I definitely saved, so... we'll see. Oh, I hate this part. So yeah, the only other thought generated by that is just the fact that I want to see some other iterators. Please put them in. Please have them, because I think there's supposed to be new areas in Downpour, so it would be super cool for some of that to be like running into another one. I don't know. Maybe they're all actually dead. Otherwise, that would be sad. It would be neat both for, like, seeing someone else we've talked about, or just, you know, having more than a larger sample size of comparison. But yeah. And then the Purple Pearl, that's got a lot of nice juicy stuff. Which, first of all, is kind of the water stuff that I talked about before. Gotta be real. Rereading that pearl, I'm back to being concerned about Five Pebbles' water supply. Because, like, yes, it was deemed sufficient groundwater, but, like, still the fact that, okay, Five Pebbles has... Oh! Lizard! Five Pebbles has both the, like, 2 dry gates, no evidence of water, in his whole area. And then also the fact that, like, which I didn't think of before, I mean, I kind of noted it as a thing that happens, but not necessarily as, oh, maybe this means something in this part, but, like, I don't know if I've actually died to running out of timer at the wall, but, like, obviously the exterior, if the rain timer goes, there's no actual, it's, you know, it's the rain timer, but there's no rain. Like, that whole, I suppose I could go back to the wall and die there just to see what happens. But yeah, I'm back to being a little bit like, okay, there has to be some of this on purpose. And, like, obviously Five Pebbles has enough to still be, you know, weird functioning, but I'm back on my suspicion. Also, I still think the whole commentary on, like, neither of us has ever seen a natural river in our lives is... What does that mean? I mean, I forget if I've said anywhere before about, like, even, like, the intro stuff, looking at some of the cutscene stuff, it's like, this all seems kind of a little bit artificially constructed. So, I don't know. So, my thinking here is that I want to... I'm just going to grab one and put it in my stomach. That's way safer. So let's see. I'm going to try and grab... So I've gotten that one before. I can't tell if this is the pale blue one, the blue one or the green one, but let's try it for a second. What are you showing? Okay, so this is the green one from the wall. We're gonna eat it. I want to grab one of the new ones so I can get some new lore to start with. Because that would be cool. Okay. A couple more notes on the lore, and then I'll... The thing about, like... Okay, it was a concern... First of all, building... The concern was building 5 Pebbles so close to Looks to the Moon. So Looks to the Moon's older than 5 Pebbles, which I think is fun. And something I had been thinking about and just kind of never really expressed was my brain going like, haha, unless something else confirms it, I want to assume that 5 Pebbles is the youngest of all the iterators because it would be funny. Except looking at that, now I'm like, oh no, this is kind of a confirmation of something otherwise. Come on. Bad lizard. No! Alright, stay down there, stay down there, stay down there. Because, like, the worries about building iterators too close to each other at the water were earlier stages of their existence. So, like, later iterators you could build wherever. So if 5 Pebbles was built in the era of, oh, we're still concerned about it, that means there were definitely iterators built after. So... confirmed. Sadly, it is confirmed that 5 Pebbles is not the youngest of all the iterators. It's fine. I can live with it. It was just me being funny about it. Although that also does, going back to my question about, like, okay, where is Unparalleled Innocence meant to be with the comment about local iterator project? Depending on when they were built... If it was later and everything was chill, they could be nearby, and we just don't end up seeing them because reasons of gameplay design. I don't know. It would be real spooky to... Because I'm thinking about, it's like, okay, how many of the other iterators are actually still alive? It would be real spooky to just be like, anyway, here's a new iterator area. They're dead. Go crawl around in their corpse. Might be a little much, I don't know. Hi! Please don't kill me. Excuse me. Ow! Rude. Yeah. And then, of course, the ending line there, the very ominous one of talking about the fact that, okay, after a lot of debate, they decided to build them close together, and then Looks to the Moon saying, it was not a good decision in hindsight. What does that mean? Like, I would assume it's in, you know, given the context of the conversation, it's meant to be in reference to the water stuff. But, like... Did I go the wrong way? No. It's not as though, like... I don't know, maybe I was right about the whole, oh, the water is an issue, thing for them. And that's why it was a bad decision. Or, going back to my conspiracy brain about... Did Five Pebbles have anything to do with what happened to Looks to the Moon? Was it a bad decision for other reasons? I don't know! And then, of course, my other question of just, like... Obviously, Five Pebbles and Looks to the Moon knew of each other, like... Looks to the Moon definitely talks... It's interesting, because she talks about him. Like, she obviously knows him pretty well. In terms of being able to say things in general about him, but, like... There's never and obviously, like, Five Pebbles never talks about them or directly about any other iterator. We've seen some past conversation stuff, but, like... So far, we haven't exactly gotten any commentary on, like, the nature of their relationship, like... Did they get along did they have problems from the beginning? I think I've said that, like, obviously the way that, like, Looks to the Moon talks about him, like, at least, you know, not with any sort of malice or whatever it seems. Like, like, they seem pretty chill about him, but... Were they just, like, whatever? Was Looks to the Moon like, yeah, I'm fine with him, and Five Pebbles was like... Yeah, sure, whatever. I don't know. I want to know. Will somebody please talk to me about this? Like, also just the fact that, like, a lot of the pearls I've looked at so far... Oh! God, what is that? What is that? Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Okay, I think I've... Is that one of the, like, I can throw numbing darts at you things from, like... I feel like this is something I've only ever... Oh, God. Scary! 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 Help! Like, I think I might have seen that in, like, Hunter playthroughs before, but I don't know. Yeah, I would like the only pearl-related things that is like, okay, the gold pearl from their area, talking about Sliver of Straw, which I'll read along with this lore pearl next. And, like, the one lore pearl where they're talking about, where some of the other editors are like, Five Pebbles is not looking so great lately. And they're like, does Looks to the Moon know? And they're like, yeah, we haven't heard from Looks to the Moon in a while. And that's it! And, like, I'll talk more about that one when I get to it. Which might be a while, because that's one of the Sky Islands ones, and that's one of the further away areas. But, like... Obviously, I mean, especially if it's like, oh yeah, he's got the rod, which is a bad you know, it seems to be a bad thing. And also, whatever, just, like, it makes sense that, okay, the probable closest iterator to him, we should probably check up on them, but also, like, makes me wonder. Are you also asking if Looks to the Moon knows because of, like, anything other than just the practicality of being physically nearby? I don't know. I still haven't yet ever tried to be like, ooh, let me give whatever to Five Pebbles to see if it gets a reaction out of him. Other than, like, get out of my house or die. That I've gotten when I tried to go back to him once or twice. I just want more information on that specific part of the lore. Because, like, these are the two characters that I've been given the most reason to care about. Anyway, yeah, everybody cross your fingers that this specific lore pearl has something real juicy in it. Alright, so we got two more colored lore pearls to read. We're gonna start with the gold one, because I've seen that one already, just to, like, temper whatever reactions I have. Ah, little creature, you're here again. Hi. Your memory's at least good enough to recognize me. Oh, what is that, little friend? And yet another one. I will read it to you. Interesting. This one is written by me. It's about an iterator called Sliver of Straw. I don't remember when I wrote it. Do you know Sliver of Straw? She's quite legendary among us. Sliver of Straw is the only one to ever broadcast a specific signal, that the big problem we're all working on has been solved. The triple affirmative. Affirmative that a solution has been found, affirmative that a solution is portable, and affirmative that a technical implementation is possible and generally applicable. She's also one of the few that is ever confirmed as exhaustively incapacitated or dead. Do not die easily. Sliver of Straw sent this, and the ensuing commotion was historically unparalleled, before or after. I still remember it, but nothing happened, except that Sliver of Straw was apparently dead. When the dust settled, we were all still there blinking at each other. Everyone had a theory. Some said that she did have a solution, but that the solution itself was somehow dangerous. These later became known as triangulators, who think that a solution should be inferred without being directly discovered. Some said she never had a solution, she just died, and when the systems broke down, an erroneous signal was sent. One camp claimed that dying was the solution. Either way, after that, these different factions developed, as well as a huge forensic effort to recreate and simulate Sliver of Straw's last moments. Some of the simulations were wrapped in a simulation in case something dangerous might happen. Nothing much has come from it. In my essay, I make the case that maybe she should be allowed to rest in peace now. That's so fucking rough, though, like... I mean... Ooh. Just the fact that it's like, okay! Ah! Whoopsie. 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 Okay. We'll talk about that in a second. We've got new lore! Yet another gift. Another? You know better than the scavengers. Let us see. To be honest, I'm curious to see it as you are. This one is plain text. Let me cut the lengthy introductions. We will not consider the current situation acceptable. Although our community is blessed with an ever-shrinking population, and we can almost glimpse that glorious moment when the last of us has joined our most admired peers, we must still, at all times, maintain good relations with our iterator. Oh. Community is blessed with an ever-shrinking population. We can almost glimpse the glorious moment. Ooh, so this is... Oh, so was I right? Is this like... Okay, assuming this is the ancients, like... Are they like, okay, the ancients can transcend? And like, that's why the ever-shrinking population, because there's fewer and fewer of them stuck in the cycle, and there's more and more of them who are like... As transcended, ascended. Maintain good Ooh. Maintain good relations with our iterator. Ooh! I should keep reading the rest of it. The moral argument. Five Pebbles is our creation, and we have parental obligations toward him. As an iterator, he is also the gift of charity from us to the world, unable to reach enlightenment by itself, being composed mostly of rock, gas, dull-witted bugs, and microbes, and towards which we thus have obligations. Oh! Ooh, more Five Pebbles lore. Also, I gotta say, I love the, like, capitalizing words that are, like, important. So good. Why are they having... Oh no, is this like we're having a moral argument about Five Pebbles because he's doing bad science and, like... Oh! Oh, this is such a juicy one. Ooh. Parental obligations. I mean, yeah, you did kind of create him. So it's like, okay. So, like, they're not only, so they have obligations towards Five Pebbles because they created him. So they're like, we're like his weird parents. But they're also saying, like, because the rest of the world can't, okay, so the rest of the world can't reach enlightenment, transcendence by itself. So that's saying that the rest of the world can't, but they can. So I was right about the part where it's like, oh, can they do it by themselves? Still, it's just the rest of the world that they're trying to help. But they're kind of being like, oh, well, clearly, since this is what we want, this is good for what's the rest of the world. And I mean, like, at least, I would say at least, Five Pebbles seems to still be believing that is a thing. Of, talking about that we all want a way out, which, I mean, might be true, but it's also kind of what I was talking about before, about, like, I don't know if I'm supposed to just take everyone as reliable or not. Ooh. Oh. The practical argument. Despite you being family, I must beg forgiveness for the blunt vulgarity, but we are, for as long as we remain, dependent on Five Pebbles for water, nectar, energy, void fluid, and all other... Void fluid? Whew. And all other vital resources. By now, living on the surface is laughable. We are across the river and have kicked out the boat. Okay, so this is like an argument to someone else who is family, I guess? Ooh, so the iterators weren't just like, we're making these big machines to solve problems, but like they're also giving the resources to the ancients? That's fascinating! Living on the surface is laughable. We are across the river and we kicked out the boat. So is that like... I mean, I'm assuming the surface they mean most of where the game is because... Hold on, let me look. Pull out, where's my notes of what Five Pebbles? Because, like, we're telling us where to go. It's, like, down into the earth where the land, fissures, blah, 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 where the ancients built their temples and stuff. So I'm assuming the surface is most of this game. And then, like, living on the surface is... Or is this not the surface and the surface is somewhere else? I don't know. We are across the river and kicked out the boat, which I assume is supposed to just be, like, metaphorically, like, oh yeah, we've already gone to this place and gotten rid of the resources that would let us leave, They're dependent on Five Pebbles. It's like, the practical argument is that we're still dependent on Five Pebbles for... Are they arguing about, like, doing something about, like, maybe we shouldn't be keeping... Ooh. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. I therefore ask you to do anything in your might to stop the house, we both know which house, from further obstruction. They have less than 40 members on the council, but still tilt the spiritual discourse with our iterator in a direction that most obviously displeases him, and is hardly high-held by anyone in the community either. We cannot risk this. Ooh, oh yeah, I know the one from Memory Crypts was talking about, like, houses, and they were like, I think they said the House of Braids, and that they were of pure braid heritage or something. To stop the house from further obstruction. We both know which house. Those guys, we know who I'm talking about, but I won't name them. Further, they have lessons to help discourse with our... Okay, so there's like a council that I'm assuming, they deal with the iterators, and they're trying to spiritually discourse with Five Pebbles. I don't know what about, but, like, it obviously displeases him. And it's hardly, so, like, they're saying stuff to Five Pebbles that he's not happy about, and anybody else doesn't. And they can't risk it, because, like... Oh, is this like a... Please stop making the being that we're dependent on for living as long as we're still living and not transcended. Please don't make them angry. We really need to stop this. Is that what it is? Ooh! Our iterator. So I wonder if they all have, like, different... Ooh, this is so cool. This is a good Pearl. Ooh. Ooh. And then there are polite farewells. None of us really miss the times when the cities were populated. Imagine having skin parasites and also ask for advice and have opinions! Oh! Ooh, looks to the moon, that's kind of mean! Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I forget if I actually said that ever out loud, or if I just thought about it, but like, I was kind of like, I want It Looks to the Moon to be less just nice all the time. And I'm getting that now. Oh, you guys do not like the ancients, huh? Oh, oh, because I mean, if they were dependent on them, it's like, okay, they're like, kind of their opinions on the ancients are like, yeah, they created us, but they created us to do some shit, which they're like, here, solve this problem that you were specifically designed to not be able to benefit from. And also the problem isn't really solvable. And also we're gonna bother you on other stuff and show us our opinions. I mean, yeah, I could see how there would be a lot of resentment for the ancients. Oh, but the specific phrasing of, like, calling them skin parasites, oh, yes, look to the moon, be mean, you deserve it. Hell yeah. Oh. I'm sorry, that was disrespectful. They were our parents after all. No, be mean. Yes. Yes. Oh. Oh, that's such a good pearl. Mmm. Mmm. Oh. Oh, I'm so glad I picked that. I mean, the other new one might also be good, but I'm so glad I picked that one. That's so good and juicy and cool. Oh, this run was such a... everything was worth it. Just for that one pearl. Yes, Looks to the Moon, give us your opinions. Anyway. I think we're gonna call it for this episode because I've been recording for a while. And most of it's been pretty juicy, so take a break and I'll come back next time and we'll read the rest of the Colored Lore Pearls. And I think and then I'll also do Monk going to see Looks to the Moon and seeing if any of that's significant enough to also put in the part. So yeah! So excited. This is so good. I'll see y'all next time. Bye!